chances of Paul George being traded have increased. Obviously, we reported yesterday that he and his agent told the Pacers on Saturday that not only are they opting out in 2018, which everybody knew they would do, they have no intention of returning. They won't sign an extension this summer. They won't sign an extension next summer. They're leaving Indiana, and their preference and the likelihood is he's going to the Lakers. And so by telling the Pacers that now, the Pacers' best chance of getting value for him is before this draft. The longer they hold on to him, if they want to get in with some picks in this draft, they have that opportunity. But everyone in the league sees Paul George as a rental, and you're only going to have him for one season. How much are you going to give up for Paul George? The teams I talked to yesterday who might have interest are not ready to offer a great deal for him. And I think the Lakers have to get involved here and try to do a deal themselves, because there is always the risk that what if Boston does a deal for Paul George? And Paul George right now thinks I'm going to the Lakers, but has a great season in Boston. Players love playing there, likes playing for Brad Stevens. And all of a sudden the Lakers never get a crack at him. So I do think the Lakers have to, on some level, get aggressive with Indiana to see if there's a way to do a deal there. I don't think that Kevin Pritchard in Indiana, and remember, Larry Bird's still there as a consultant. Larry Bird is still there. I don't know if there's a great appetite with the Pacers to give him what he wants and send him to the Lakers.
Trying to figure out the Cavs' game plan, because LeBron has a window of opportunity here where maybe you win one more title, you can rent Paul George. Can they get, send Kevin Love there? Is it worth it? And then if LeBron brings another title there, is he likely to leave? So the Cavalier aspect here of how they match up with Golden State and who do they get in the offseason, what do you think the game plan is going to be short term?
Well, they'd like to get at Paul George here. There's no question. Paul George is a prototype. If you're going to try to compete with Kevin Durant, he's a prototype on both ends of the floor. Certainly his size and versatility defensively gives them a defender. But I don't know what the package is, Dan, for Cleveland to be able to get Paul George. When you look at, they have talked, and they talked through the weekend. I just think for Cleveland, the assets they have to give up, if you're Indiana right now, you're going to look to go younger and get draft picks. Cleveland doesn't have picks to give except for some way out in the future, and they've given up a lot of future assets. And to keep giving up more for a guy that – and Paul George has made it clear Cleveland knows that Paul George is showing no interest in playing for them and no interest in staying long-term there. So, I mean, he could go for the year and play the season out, but I don't think Paul George sees Cleveland in his future. That's not a place that I think can keep him. And, of course, you don't know what LeBron's future is there. But Cleveland's in a tough spot, too, because their GM, Dave Griffin, his contract expires on June 30th. He doesn't have a new deal.
Crazy.
And so it's difficult for that front office to operate right now with that uncertainty.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.